Welcome to Rolls Lawyers, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Anybody want to do a recap from where we ended last session?
First thing is
Literally
we need
wrote
the
all the
new
notes.
IP, I think. Mine's not able to...
Yeah, mine's not working either.
Ooh.
What a great start.
Well, I wonder because, generally speaking, your ISP does not force you to change IPs very often. Usually your unit gets a lease and it'll continue to take that lease until circumstantially something changes. So I'm wondering why it's changing every week.
It depends. I mean, I've
Oh,
had...
no, there we go. I refreshed and it seemed to work.
No, you're all in here. I've been lied to.
I'm not. And it's definitely not loading.
Yeah, mine was stuck loading, and then I refreshed, and it seemed to be fine.
It's true.
Oh,
all
there
the
we
important
go.
people are
Now
here.
it's going. Okay.
All right, who wants to do that recap? There's an inspiration on the line.
I wrote all the notes, so it's right there.
That'd make it real easy for you then, huh?
Yeah.
Just like how the session ended, so I remember where we were. I mean, I totally know as the dungeon master.
Yeah. Okay, so we dealt with frogs and stuff. That at least the first few frogs from falling into a tunnel in the farm. And we started hearing the sound of a crying child. So we were like, okay, well, we can't ignore it one way or another, whether it's a trap or not. So we start following it. Dora goes ahead and just vanishes. And all we find is his boots and drag marks. And we're like, well, that sucks. So we continue following the noise of the child. And eventually we find ourselves in a cavern where we find more shoes and piles of bones, as well as odd tadpoles amongst the bones. A little bit further in the cave, we find a child encased in a mucus cocoon. Child asks for help, looks very gaunt. It's not looking good, so we move forward to help, and as Cyrus is trying to get the kid free, the Slods arrive, and a fight begins. It is a very close fight. The odds of us end up in a bad place, but we do eventually win.
And just real quick on that point, do you think anything could have changed party composition wise that might have made the fight easier? Like the addition of more.
Or like a healer?
Like if we had another party member, that probably would have helped, but like I don't see how that could ever happen.
Right. Okay, go ahead.
During the fight, Keller gets infected with something and just conks out. The kid got incinerated by the frogs from a fireball. Not us. Frogs did it. We realize that we need to get out of here. If something's wrong with Galler, we gotta get him somewhere. So we rush back to the entrance where we see the farmer and a bunch of his people kind of looking down the hole and figuring out what the hell's going on. So we hurry them to help us out there and tell them that we will return quickly, but we need to get Galler to medical. So we rush to one of the temples in the Pale, and priestess lady comes out and offers to help them, but tries to tell them to, like, don't tell anybody I just helped you guys, because it costs 100 anvils, and we're like, oh, we're poor. So we're grateful to her, and all that. Then I imagine her boss, who wasn't her boss, came out, and was like, hey, everything okay? You didn't, like, give them free healing or anything. And we're like, no, what? No. And escape out of that and head back to the farm to see that they're starting to dig it up more and head in there. There's a lot of guard around. Oh yeah, we also found Door on their way out, and I guess we sort of helped him out of the tunnel. And then I think we just left him by all the farmers when we rushed Caller to healing. So we go and we explain to the farmer and all that, like what's down there, what happened. And we get our pay from him. And he also offers for us to stay in one of the barns that's not being used, which we accept because the priestess lady told us that Keller needed to stay in the Dawn Shard, like direct light a little bit more. So we're like, all right, no problem.
All right.
Reporter.
Huh?
And we met the reporter.
Yeah, it's good there. I just realized I wrote the wrong name over there. Okay. So, Bjorn got a check, basically, like, go cash us in, you'll get your pay. So he goes and does that while we're all chilling, because we all got fuggered. And, he was the most capable of us. And as he goes out there, he realizes he's being followed by a weird nerd lady. He doesn't really make much of it, and eventually he comes home, and then he's like, okay, well, what do you want, lady? And turns out she's Theodora Rumor, the lady who travels different dimensions and is the archivist of this place. And she has a weird familiar named Eggery.
Who is a cat.
Who is a cat.
That's important.
Okay, it's a cat. It's a black cat.
Yes, but it's a cat named Eggery.
Yes.
I don't get it.
I feel like I'm missing something.
She offers us a job to go to another part of the town that was claimed by the Dark to a archive to see what we can salvage for her.
Real quick, I am giving a point of determinism to whoever can explain the joke. I will now take the point of determinism.
It's so not fair.
She's an archivist. She's a librarian. She has a cat.
Category?
Yes!
Yeah.
So I think it's punny, and like I just...
Yeah, no, it's good.
Now I'm upset.
I'm upset, and
still
I'm now
get it.
quitting the campaign.
Well, we don't have enough play anymore, so I guess I get my Wednesdays back. I think Stellar Blade just came out.
So knowing they kind of need a break before they do anything, they say like, yeah, we'll think about it, and they take it easy. Callie spends time with Fern and Svella. Eva tisms it out with Theodora. Bjorn goes to the Smiths, and Calum with Cyrus to give the money back that we had taken from the original job. And they found that Callum was not doing too hot. And he would not talk about why. The end.
You
Bailey...
left me in the field without boots?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll have to get your own boots for sure. Alright, so, Bailey, please take a point of inspiration. If you're full, you can give it to somebody else.
Sweet. Who doesn't have inspiration?
I think I don't have inspiration. I think I'm down.
Okay. Brother dearest.
Yippee! I got
How do we
it.
tell if we have inspiration again?
Dice above your portrait on your character sheet.
Yeah, if it's glowy.
All right, so you have met with Theodora, taken some steps to right yourself, and many of you discussed how you want to take some time to recover. Theodora has offered you a gig, if you're interested in pursuing it with her. Otherwise, the city is your oyster. We'll be continuing into this week with what I assume will be the remnants of your downtime. So, downtime activities that, unless you think there's a good reason that they would change, otherwise will follow out during this week of recovery, the same way they did there. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns about what they're doing during this week of recovery, or anything they want to throw in last minute style?
Yeah, one last minute thing. When I went to go talk to the priestess to actually thank her properly, and we got the information about the light shards that they sell and blah blah blah. They have like any takeaway literature for like pamphlets for the fucking church, you know, like sun gods for dummies, you know.
She does not have pamphlets, flyers, or anything like that, but she seems eager to proselytize to you. So if you would like to arrange a sit down with her, she is eager to tell you about the faith. And you could do that on your own or bring the group back.
I will do that, and I will offer that to anybody that wants to come.
Who wants to come?
It's so long.
Sounds like a loaded question.
Sure.
Is anybody
Why
not going?
I will go along.
I'm hearing that everybody is going. Anybody is not
Are
going?
we?
Nobody.
I don't know. Yami's still asleep.
Broden. Hey,
Well, that's
Broden is
why.
going.
That's why you ask in a negative, so that they have to say they're not going.
That's fair.
Learning a lot about persona-based marketing at work, and you never do opt-in. You always do opt-out marketing.
And then you kill yourself because it's so annoying.
That's opting out.
Yeah,
I
of
guess.
life.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You.
I think it's important that if there's only a deity that we know about here, we have to understand like what it's about, why it works, and why it's the only fucking thing here.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just happy somebody is engaging with the 61 pages of lore that I have for this place. You make your way to one of the temples, probably the one in the Pale. It's known to be the largest and the one that seems most designed for foot traffic from common man. When you arrive, you can quickly catch the attention of... She has a name.
We were
Did
not
she give
given
it
one.
to us? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Aline
Are you
Varel.
sure? What'd you
Yes.
say?
Aline Varel.
He knows it.
Because I can have access to the NPCs that we've already met.
Yep.
Yeah, but she didn't tell us her name. Positive.
Did not.
I'm sure I was polite enough to ask when I went back.
Hey, okay, if you went back, then yeah, probably.
Nice picture. Look at the little dice in the corner.
Yeah, AI
That happens.
gets a little too focused sometimes on the D&D
Yeah, you see the
aspect.
D&D,
D&D art
well.
style. Yeah.
Yeah. That must mean you mean dice. Yami, did you fix your roll too?
God.
I love that Kevin's
Said
more
to do in the
annoying
fucking
about
chat.
the nuance than I am because I just get to kick back. Thanks, Kevin. Have a point of inspiration.
Yami's gonna have to fix it every time because, like some fucking lunatic, he has his browser clear all history and settings and cookies, etc. every time he closes it.
Oh, is that what's doing it?
Yes,
Oh yeah, that'll
apparently.
forever.
Yeah, so you keep harassing him about it. Take a point of inspiration. Oh, and when you get a chance, can you transcribe our homebrew rules for the casting when you don't have spell slots into the stickies or something? Okay, thanks, bye. All right.
Yeah, if you tell me it again, I don't remember it.
You'd have to scroll.
Who wants that inspiration?
Level exhaustion per spell level, right?
So long ago. You gotta talk to the
Scroll
scribe
to
from
where?
3 weeks ago.
Didn't you say it verbally?
I put
No,
it
you
in
wrote
chat.
it somewhere.
Oh yeah, okay. I see it.
Now, when you arrive, you can quickly catch the attention of Helene, and she has a naturally bubbly, if not necessarily juvenile attitude, but she does have sort of a bouncing grace to her as she makes her way over to see you. And she says,
I thought you were going to say a different word there.
okay. And she says, hello, welcome back. Is there anything you need from us? It's nice to see you again.
Oh, it's nice to see you as well. Last time I was here, I asked to know a bit more about the faith. And I think it's important that my friends learn as well. I mean, if we're going to be spending a long time here, it'd be good to know who's providing the light, right?
Everyone has to choose the meaning of what meaning gods will have in their lives. In some ways, it's a bit simpler here. There is just the one. And yes, I'm eager to share it with you. And she'll start to usher you up several flights of stairs. And she says, the temple records aren't very complete. We don't have a lot of knowledge past a few hundred years. But from what we understand, this place is a refuge. All the sins and evils of the realms have won for a time. And Arvale, our god, has spared us so that we may be tenders to his flame, so that he may usher a new dawn to follow this night, with us as its herald. And she'll continue to speak about various aspects of the faith. Does anybody want to engage it with anything particular, or just kind of interested in going along with the spiel and seeing where she's leading you?
Have you not found any other settlements out there in the darkness? There's no other light aside from the dawn shards here?
Oh, in fact, there used to be several other cities. Probably some centuries now. Originally, Arvale's dawn shards were more prevalent in the realm. But poor flame keepers made for withering flames. And they lost their battle against the dark. Here, though, we retain our faith through ritual and prayer and worship. And so Shadesmoor has outlasted them all.
I don't know where you come from, or if there are gods, or what they're like where you're from. Where we're from, gods take up aspects and small little slices of everyday life in the world and the universe around them. Aside from light, what does your god represent?
That... Brian, do you have an inspiration?
I do.
She says, a long time ago, millennia, millions more, I'm not certain, but a long time ago, before all of what we understand to be creation existed, there were many gods. Hundreds. Gods that took up domains of power for every aspect you can think of. And they clashed furiously. The war settled into two factions, light and dark. Not to say that all light was good or all dark evil, but elements of order and chaos tend to find themselves into domains of light or dark. The war was devastating. And at the end of it, only one god remained. Arvel. He became the overgod. He did not pick up the other domains that were discarded. Instead, left them. There's a natural willingness to govern, and without hands to carry them, they fell in line beneath his own power. And she says, with him at the helm, his power granted all of the meaningful aspects of creation guidance, led to everything that we know and understand. But every flame casts a shadow, and those aspects, those domains of darkness were still there. They were just weak enough to allow us to grow and prosper. And over time, they had enough strength from the hearts of wicked men and women, and they eventually reclaimed a portion of the realms. Wherever you're from, I expect that your gods have fallen, and whatever realms, homes, worlds you once knew are gone with them. It's terrible to think about. I'm sure you have many things that you wish you could return to, but you won't be returning, you'll be rebuilding when this is over. About this point, she leads you to the top floor, and it's been about 10 stories up so far, and she brings you into a 40 by 40 foot room with flights of stairs that continue up until the Dawn Shard. But here, you can see there is a series of crystalline arrays. And she says, this tower acts as a focal point for Arvel's light. It is here that we usher blessings from it and can dispense them to the lanterns that the Bloodsworn carry into the dark. It is not as strong as its source, but it is strong. It'll keep you healthy, so long as you can keep yourself safe.
Keller will just kind of like walk around and like look at things from a respectful distance, and he'll kind of like look over at Ava like, are you picking all this shit up?
Yeah.
Depending on the ritual that you go through, the light can be shaped to give you different effects in the darkness. Unfortunately, it is a taxing ritual, so there is a tithe that's expected as part of your... She uses the word and seems a little unpleasant saying so, a little uncomfortable saying so. Payment to our temple.
I understand. Light keeps everybody safe, and the town being able to exist at all. So, keeping the temple in working order, and the devout and healthy and happy is important.
Sorry, you're fading in and out a little bit, Brian.
Sorry, I gotta lean forward. I understand that tithing is important for being able to keep things standing and running and the light burning. But the prices seem... I don't know, I haven't really understood your economy here, but they seem pretty steep for people who are going out and risking their lives trying to find things and bring them back.
She gives you a very concerned nod. You don't think she's ignoring you, but she
She
continues
just
on.
doesn't want to say it.
She continues on to say, many in the faith believe that we are meant to shelter here and serve in the refuge that Arvale has given us, and that the paths into the dark only lead you further from his light. Father Tolm, for instance, believes that there is great danger and corruption and being corrupted out there. He is always eager to welcome you back to the flame, but you might find yourself not wanting to. And it's hard to say what sort of effect that has on your soul. I personally believe, although it's not a popular opinion, that journeying into the black is an opportunity to spread the light that Arvale left us. Carrying it back with you is a sign of your strength and of his.
Well, it seems to me it would be important to spread the light out as far as you can if the darkness keeps encroaching farther and farther.
The question is always, is it worth the risk? To risk being wronged, to risk losing lives to the black, to carry the light so far from Arvale, can it ever be reclaimed out there? Those are more difficult questions to answer. Many of the cities that preceded us didn't value his presence here the same way that we do. And they haven't survived. It's made us a cautious bunch. But also, the city and the faith recognize that there are resources not available in the city. And so, a major aspect of Varric's Reach, our outpost, is that it has its own dawn shard. It makes the journey between here and there a little less daunting when there's light at the end of the tunnel. But yes, I understand your concern. I believe it's meant to make sure that those that venture into the dark are capable, prepared, and invested in the safe trip.
Yeah, I wasn't attempting to offend. It's just we're still very new here, so we haven't lost hope of home yet.
You cannot offend me. If you seek answers, I'll offer what I can. Even the faithful have questions. She pats your arm encouragingly.
Thank you. I think you frighten every one of my friends.
Well, we certainly try not to, but I can understand.
The last time I talked, you all yelled at me.
Wasn't that just when you tried to give away to the farmer, what we were trying to get him to pay for?
He's like, if you want me to talk, I can talk.
Well, I'm here to answer anything.
Have you ever considered weaponizing it?
Oh, there have been many attempts.
Which ones? Tell me. Please.
Well, as members of the faith, we have the ability to call upon some of his power, and that acts as a weapon against the dark. Carrying the flames themselves are usually not enough to do more than deter the miasma rather than the creatures. But there have been efforts to make arrays that are large enough to carry a more powerful flame. Arvale is known as the unyielding flame from a theological standpoint.
Mm.
It is difficult to control without the proper management. And so many accidents have happened trying to wield larger arrays.
I have an idea which doesn't really require a larger amount, just a focused amount.
She
Yeah.
nods.
Blueprints. I rummage
Say
through my
again.
bags and I take out my blueprints and I roll them out on the nearest flat surface where there would be a floor or a table.
Oh, this is a lot.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it since we arrived. I learned about the thingies. So, this is my gun. I put the gun down right beside the blueprints. Basically, it's going to be, and I just start going into the whole tirade of it, just yammering like she knows all the things.
Make a Arcana or a smithing check of some kind.
I don't know what boost I get to my smithing.
Efficiency and that's a good question. What kind of stat is it?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're proficient in most of those things.
I'll
To
roll mine and let's
intelligence.
see
I am.
what happens. 5 plus 3, so it uses your strength with smithing naturally, but
gross. Okay, so Arcana it is. Hey, a 19 or a 19?
She doesn't pick up on a lot of what you're saying, but she follows enough to say, well, the arrays that we use for our rituals are made of veilstone. It's has a unique property that it amplifies light, seemingly with less instability to other reflective items like lenses. Maybe that would help you.
That would be awesome.
She gives you a smile. Well, is there anything else that I can answer for you?
Yeah, how much is that going to cost me? So I can start preparing.
I'm not certain. I imagine it's rather expensive. Our reserves come from Varric's Reach, so it probably has some sort of premium for coming from outside the city.
I'll give her the general size of what I would need. Probably nothing overly large because it would fit in my gun.
She doesn't seem to know a good answer there, but she'd say, I'd imagine it's, even in small quantities, very expensive. Perhaps one of the merchants' guilds?
Okay, I'll ask them. Thank you.
Yes, thank you again for your time. I was just trying to learn a bit more about everything.
if there's anything we can do to thank you for helping Caller here in dire straits, do let us know.
Yeah, you're nice. Here, this is where we live if you ever need us, and I tell her, our general address.
She seems a little confused by kind of the way the conversation has gone, but she says, it's certainly nothing that you should trouble yourself over. I'm just glad I could help, and that you're doing okay. And I'll keep your residence in mind. I usually try to stay away from the darker districts, but
It's
if
fair.
I find myself in need of... And she kind of thinks for a moment and says, heroes, I'll certainly reach out.
Or weird people. We also go by weird people.
If
It's
I
mostly
need
me.
weird
I go
people,
by weird.
What she
Arby just
means
wanna
by
come
that
over
is
and-
sometimes just a little different can help break the tedium.
Yeah. If you just want to hang out, sometimes we have tea, and sometimes I get those really good like donuts from that one bakery place.
She finds this all a bit amusing as this turn in the conversation, and she'll continue to escort you around and show you various depictions of Arvale and the great battle against the other gods, the lone survivor at the end of an age-old war.
Yeah, take the
And-
disposable camera out of my fanny pack and take pictures while adjusting my visor.
No flash photography, please. And she'll give you a little bit more of the history and lore, things that might help you in case you think to ask them later in the campaign. But as she brings you to the base of the stairs, base of the temple again, she gives you a warm farewell, lets you know that the temple is always available should you decide to come back and carry or worship Arvale's light.
Bye. We'll see you for tea and donuts at some time.
So, you guys have learned 5% of the faith. What do you do now?
5%? That's
I don't know.
a lot, pretty
I
quickly.
put those.
Got like
Pump those numbers
5
up.
pages. That's probably half a page. I don't know. Somebody do the math.
I'll be honest, how much of the lore did AI write, Tony?
None.
Really?
I use AI when I need help turning an idea into a name. And luckily, AI values the same thing I value, which is aptronyms and theme. So, Shadesmoor, Soulmire.
Okay.
Like a lot of flame wardens, you know. Anyways, this is
How expensive do you guys think seeds are?
Seeds?
Yeah.
Or what kind of seeds?
I'm kind of thinking, like, if we're gonna be here for a bit, food's expensive, we got a bit of a garden. Maybe it would be good if we did that, and that door could stop Blair Witching it in a corner. Like, have a project.
Suppose we do have a dry
Well,
on the
I
hill.
think that's great. It would have to be very low light plants. Those aren't usually food.
Well, I was thinking if we plant them with Fern's help, maybe that could give us a different result.
Ooh, you could also give Fern to the shaman, and he could probably fix your whole like vegetation growing situation.
You're right. Let's do that.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
good point, Tony.
Oh wait, he's sick now. I forgot.
And
He
an
made a
asshole.
deal with something else, and it turned on him.
Uh-huh.
That what happened?
I think he went up
That's my
there.
speculation.
I think he tried to go and find a cutting himself, and it did not go well.
He's pregnant.
Yeah, that would be dangerous, huh?
Yeah, be crazy.
Probably.
There's also the chance of also planting it near Fern as well.
Well, things are going to start growing around there.
Yeah.
Well, I see
I think
a
it
point.
would
We
be-
might as well try to make it things we want growing.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to give her a little project and stuff. If not Door, then her. He can continue Blair Witching it in the corner without his pants or shoes.
Slowly losing articles of clothing as this goes on.
Yeah, just a thought. Maybe Svala has weird seeds. I mean, she's got it. She gave me this weird thorn thing.
I've made friends with that name.
Friends is a bold
Branwell.
term. I would say more of a I don't want to be her enemy and anywhere near that. So I was nice. It hurts me.
I mean, maybe, but could always ask him for some, buy some seeds from him. Go to the merchants. It's up to you.
Yeah.
That man is a businessman through and through. I do not think you'll be able to get seeds off of him because then you'll be doing what he does and you won't need him and he won't get paid.
You're probably right. Or at least
Unless he
charge
thinks that we would
more.
just fail in the end, I'd still sell us whatever. I don't know. Maybe you can have Cinder go in there and like steal some roots, like just like a little bit of stems and roots and stuff.
If we start to go hungry, I'll worry.
Fine.
All right. Shit, I don't know what else we need to do. Has everyone gotten their work done?
Well, Tony, I want to have the Bloodsworn come back yet.
They have not.
They're witches? No, okay.
You could probably expect them at the end of this week.
End of this week, okay. We've had the one long rest already, right? Which is the one, or is this? Are we filling things out right now for that?
These events are taking place during the long rest that would have followed at the end of the farm excursion.
Okay.
I would not say you've completed it yet, but you can fast forward to the end.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to try to keep as updated as they will allow on the events of the whole. I'm sure they're probably pretty tight-lipped about it, but I'm trying to glean what is going on down there.
You'll actually find that you get a pretty receptive welcome around the whole. They don't seem incredibly tight-lipped. You find out that, as you all suspected, it looks like there was some aspect to the miasma that these creatures were spreading, and that having cleared out most of them, the rest have fled. There is a series of tunnels underneath the city, but only one leads out, and it actually goes quite far into the outskirts of the city and then into the black itself, which they think is how they got in. Looks like they're making plans to collapse the tunnels at several points to make sure that that can't happen again, and they're making some restoration efforts just to make sure that what they did do doesn't hurt any additional crops and can reclaim the land safely.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
So,
Okay, so I didn't have anything else specific.
yeah, you
this
were working, and towards the end of your work week, you discovered some stolen goods, and you left a note saying, "Hey, I know you stole. I'm not a cop. Just trust me, okay?"
Yeah. Businessman, business plan.
Definitely
Make
not
money
a
in
cop.
business land. Exactly.
So,
Big black unmarked man. Okay, yeah, so I'm good. Fast forwarding to the end if everybody else is. End of the week.
I am good for the forward.
you spend some time recovering, resting, keeping up with your various projects. Mostly, most of the work being done coming from only Ava and Bior. So Bior and Ava, you can make yourself a little bit of coin. I think Avalyn, as long as you put in a full day's work at the forge, you can add, I think we said 15 irons, 15 anvils.
Sweet.
And at your new job, Bior, you can probably, I think we said 12.
Yeah, that is the number.
And we're just matching that for gold, right?
I think there is a conversion that we agreed on.
don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was iron to gold. Because we didn't want to do any sort of math at all.
I will reserve to update that as we go. Right now, the big ticket items that you should know is it's about 10 anvils to stay a night and get meals at the tavern. And it is, I think we said 300 anvils to get a blessing from the temple.
Well, we got that. We got 400, not 400. We have 600 still from our payment.
So what, Tony? Was
You're
the
right. We
intention
did
for
say
the-
1-to-1 gold because that's
Yeah.
how
Oh, we
we
did,
base the equipment price.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an expensive ass tavern. Food is scarce.
Yeah, reasonable.
It makes sense. Anyway.
All right. So what are we doing?
What are we doing? Math. Well, when the Bloodsworn come back, I'm gonna try to talk to one of those witches and find out what the deal is with this Shadow Shard shit, and we can shorthand that if you want. I
Sure.
don't want to like keep everybody waiting forever for a thing that I'm doing to learn about.
What did you want from the Southern Witch again?
Well, I was to try to and talk one of them into maybe working the shards into our armor or agreeing to do that for a price or whatever.
The essence
also,
shards, yeah.
Yeah, and also trying to learn what that is on a mechanical level. That's me,
So,
the player, though.
if you want to shorthand it, the essence shards are essentially, like, not to video game this too much, they are parts of the miasma that formed the core of the creature, and they still have some of that essence. Her magic is a little bit creepy. That's why the Bloodsworn likes her. She knows rituals to channel some of the miasma into it to recreate the creature that you killed. This is important because those creatures decay very rapidly. So if you needed alchemical ingredients or materials or things like that from these creatures, you are going to have a difficult time harvesting it and having it last. But as part of this ritual, you can get a more permanent form of it, which might help those of you that are interested in making magic shit.
Wonder who that would be. I'm assuming. Of it.
Yeah, but I assume
Bailey's
other
not
people
here.
might have interest in, like, I don't know what proficiencies you guys have, but there's multiple smiths, there's might be alchemical things, might be potions, magic items, like, this is your mechanical gateway into crafting.
Oh, into just making whatever magic items.
Could be.
Is that what you're going for? Okay. That's what I was asking, right? Like how do we work it into gear or whatnot? Okay.
Yep.
Grab that information, and everybody knows it now.
She will charge 100 anvils to work something for you. She says she'll teach you for 500 anvils.
Teach us how to make our own magical shit, or
how to
revive.
perform the ritual to draw out the essence.
Okay. Recreate it. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's what you're talking about? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, essentially, like if you wanted to try to create the venom from one of those spiders, you would be able to use one of these rituals to create that. And if you had purposes for like other body parts or something like that to create, spider gear, that's the ritual you'd lead with.
Okay. Good to know. guess we don't do anything with that right now. Unless somebody has something to do. Okay. Well, what are we doing then? Good talk.
Well, the only real work we have is either just keep working around the town or going into the black for Theodora.
Hey, but how do you feel? And you, Dor? Are either of you still
T-pose
notice
in the
that-
corner.
still exhausted?
You notice that I'm not wearing any shoes.
I mean, is this supposed to be new? You don't wear fucking clothes most of the time.
This is a choice.
Oh, it's definitely a
Is it
choice.
I mean, at some point you just got to throw in the towel and let the
No, you throw away the towel.
well, yeah, the one that Chris shat on.
You know the expression that's like you could buy a man a fish, feed him for a day, or teach a man to fish, feed him for his life, right?
Yep.
Yami is sort of the inverse of that logic. You take his shoes one time, he'll never wear shoes again.
Yep. You did this, Tony.
Actually, I did.
Actually, it was Yami.
Really?
Yeah, Yami chose this.
Okay. Christ, he's his own worst enemies too.
That's
What
accurate.
happened to Hunter, by the way? Like, is he just gone?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He said he
gone.
was sicky.
Oh, did he?
Yep, said he's something about my campaign being bullshittery, and then he left.
No, I said the bullshittery. He said he was going to go vomit.
I think
Oh.
you guys are the same person.
Okay. So is he out for the night?
Said he might try to come back.
Okay. Well, that's... I didn't see it. Where did he say this? Or maybe he said it to one of you.
He said, "Hey, I'm starting to feel super nauseous, and like I'm going to be sick. I'm probably going to step away for a while and try to jump back in a little bit. Sorry."
Okay. No, I was just
So-
like, did he say it in the general, or did I miss it? Like,
No, he
did not.
messaged me.
No.
Okay.
He messaged all the people
Okay.
that he likes, but also me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
learned.
so
I'm gonna
I'm
suggest we
back.
go into the black.
So one of the items that I know to infuse is goggles of night. Would I be able to figure out how to make those and what components I might need for that? To try and just make some.
So you have the ability. We're going to have to discuss this more than a few times if you start to really lean into like your ability to craft. But
That's all I
the
got,
way
man.
all you got.
That's all I got. All I got going for me is crafting things for these guys.
So the way that I understand the lore here, and you tell me how this feels, is your infusions are like super streamlined magical creations, which is why they're not permanent, right? Like these are infused and they aren't a traditional magic item. Anything that you know how to make the infusion for, you in theory also know how to make the permanent version of, right? But
Okay.
they are probably more expensive, they probably require more materials, and will probably require some amount of time. So you can absolutely make anything that you know how to make. You can also experiment, make things that are totally off the wall, not in any written book, or just not on your list, right? They just might be more difficult for you to succeed on.
Hell yeah, I'm here for that. Alright, then one of my many projects is going to be figuring out what I'm going to need for the goggles of night for all of us but Kaller.
All right. Do you have anything that grants dark vision as a spell?
Yeah, dark vision.
You have the spell dark vision?
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, this is like I said, we're going to have to talk about this a few times, but the overwhelmingly most common ways to make magic items are with inscription and resonance. Inscription is literally forcing a flow of magic into a specific route, formation, and shape within a magic item. That's really delicate work. It's very, very difficult, and it requires a lot of time. But it's consistent because it's just creating a programming language, and then you start the script, and it always ends the same way. Resonance casting is slower and easier. Resonance casting means exposing it to magic, and through time and repetition, it starts to resonate with the spell that's being cast into it or the magic it's being exposed to. For you, your probably easiest way to circumvent those usual strategies is to use essence stones or essence shards to get a head start on those processes. So what you're really looking for is to either spend the time doing it the hard way or the long way, or try to get something, an essence shard that you can use to jumpstart that process. Assuming that Bior shared everything he learned with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let them know that, okay, so this is how I can do it, and I know some of these things. So one of the things is going to be the Goggles of Night, which I think take priority. The second thing that I will know, based off of my infusions, is being able to make +1 armor.
Always welcome.
And as for other things, I'm sure Ava will come up with some weird things.
Bum bum bum.
So I guess what I'll need to do is I'll need to go and find salespeople and see the general price for Veil Stones and Essence Stones / Essence Shards.
Yep. I will help you negotiate.
Please, I can't
Yeah.
talk.
You can't fucking talk
Can't.
unless it's technical.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
I am gonna go and look for, let me get the name. Aldous Craw.
Okay. You know Aldous Crawl is one of the major merchants in the city.
I'll look to Bjorn and be like, so this guy's apparently super fancy. And really wants nobles to be a thing again, so I don't know if you can use that, but I think he's in the head of merchant stuff.
Bior works for Aldous Crawl.
Yeah, that's even better.
I have met him.
Very good.
Alright, well, it's you on our way and you can tell me exactly what you need from him.
Okay, and she'll go into what she needs, but then she'll go onto a tangent about why, and then the very essence of what makes these things so important and how she's going to use them and things.
So, what do you need? What is it you're trying to get a hold of? I'm trying to keep this quick so Brian doesn't shoot me.
I just want to know the general prices of Veil Stones, Essence Stones, and Essence Shards.
So, to get enough Veilstone for what you're looking for, he's going to charge you 200 anvils. And Essence Shards largely vary because the only people that really take them in are the Bloodsworn, and there's not really a huge market for them. If anybody cares, they can roll an insight check.
I wasn't there.
Oh, it's not bad. Oh,
Oh, double 21.
It's weird because it clearly shows a 17 and a 5.
All right.
Really? I saw 2 17s.
I didn't.
Fucking Foundry.
I
You
think it's just
don't
dice physics.
think he's being honest when he tells you that, like, oh, really just the Bloodsworn. Like, you might be able to get a few out of him, but there's not a big market for it.
Wait. We don't think he's being, or I don't think he's being honest when he says that it's just the Bloodsworn buying them, but there isn't a big market for them?
Just the Bloodsworn that collects them, and that there's no market for him. He doesn't
Oh, he's lying about that.
Yeah, he doesn't seem straightforward and honest about it.
I mean, well, come on now, I think we both know that these are more valuable than you're letting on, or more valuable to more people than you're letting on.
Okay, you're gonna make me role play.
Trying to persuade him into sharing that information. Sorry, I am trying to shorthand it a little bit for Brian's sake.
So Aldous is an elven man, or a half-elven man. He has a very grim demeanor, and
He would be.
he screams bad guy when you look at him.
Twirly mustache, even though has elf features, so like he should be able to grow it.
I allow my half-elves to grow beards.
This is proper.
And
shit.
he says, my good man, I understand your concern and what it is that you desire, but you should understand that no one is routinely making their way into the black and killing these monstrosities and collecting their cores. There's just not a market for it. I'm sure you understand.
One of Eva's eyes twitches, but she keeps trying to like. She kind of put in her mind to get herself ready for this that she's like, okay, it's like my parents are having a fancy dinner with fancy guests, and I need to be on my best behavior.
I might be able to acquire for you the occasional one, but realistically, you're better off collecting them yourself, or procuring one from those blood sworn.
So if there's not a big market for them, any ones you want to get rid of, you must just want to get them out as quick as possible, eh? Is that right? Because why would you want to hold on to something that's not very valuable to many people?
In the event that one day it is valuable to someone, say they start inquiring about them, letting me know that there is a sale to be made.
There's not a very high chance of that, is there?
No, apparently not. Interested buyers only.
How many-
Vibrating.
Well, what would the employee discount get me?
I laugh, he laughs. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. It's not bad.
He says, what sort of essence shots are you looking for?
Then I'll look at Ava.
These ones.
And what would these ones entail?
That's not fair! You just said essence shards is what I need, and you didn't go into detail.
That's actually intentional because this, I feel like I have
You
given
want
you
me to be
enough
creative.
framework that you
You can
can
make it
say, I need an essence shard to help me see in the dark. Tell me about your beholders. They got tons of eyes.
Yeah,
Right.
something with eyes.
I want to reflect magic. Do you got any snail flails? Flail snails?
The
So for this, unless you have something specific, you might want to get a list together, throw it in the downtime.
Would it be weird to be like, you got any drow, draugr, eyes, mind flare, beholders?
Where do the Rangers hang?
Interestingly enough, the comment does not seem to faze him, and he doesn't think that that's impossible to acquire. He'll say, the nature of the miasma means that all sorts of creatures are lurking in its depths, including humanoids from various realms. I imagine there's something of a villain where you come from.
Sure. I mean, like, yeah, and I'll list a few other creatures from the Underdark.
Yeah, other humanoid races that you want to hunt for sport and profit.
I need their eyes.
I wanted infravision like the elves, but it wasn't as simple as just taking their eyes.
Have you heard about infrared contacts? I'm so excited. I don't know what it's going to do
I've
for
not.
me, but I think it's the coolest sounding thing I've ever read a headline about.
Yeah, it does sound pretty dope. I don't know, like, how that fucking works.
How that
what
makes my
looks
life
like,
better.
but it sounds dope.
Psh, nope, not a clue.
That's so cool.
You can create a list for him, and he'll see what he can source. He will remind you that this is not his trade and not his market for this type of thing.
I would
But-
lay down to Bjorn and be like, but if, like, I can do this with things, it might catch his interest because magical items would be very hard to come by here, probably. If you want to use that, I don't know.
Aye, but perhaps we can open up a new market for you. You never know. Think of it as a potential investment.
Ava puts on her best smile. It's weird. It's strange.
She's quite inventive, you know. As kind of off-putting as she might be sometimes. But you just have to look past that.
Yeah, like I made
A
this and I
sharp
pick
mind.
up my gun.
Are you familiar with Lyria, the smith?
Aye.
Who? Yeah.
The one
hear
you
her
work
names.
for.
No, I didn't hear the name.
Oh, Lyria.
Oh, yeah, I work for her.
He says, then this might interest you. I recently provided her with
The Rock. Or
an
rather, the Gore.
outsourced metal.
Mhm.
As I understand it, her husband and her are in a dilemma on what they should do with it. I have interest in the development of this. I would be curious to see how it develops, not if purified, but if instead given over to its dark nature.
Hmm.
Perhaps you could do me this courtesy. Win that argument, help her develop that metal, and use it as a showcase, a testament to your talents. And from there, perhaps we could look at larger business with you as a supplier and me as your distributor.
I have the perfect idea.
Until then, though, you'll have to purchase what I have when I have it, at the rates that I provide for you. Factoring in your employee discount, of course.
I appreciate it. Do you want to buy these things or no?
You'll,
I don't know,
like I
we can
said,
figure it out later, too.
yep, you'll want to leave him a list because he doesn't have anything available here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, Avalon, make that when you get a chance. What are the rest
Mhm.
of you doing? Oh, I guess what is everyone doing once you finish?
I will bring up my idea to the group to see how they feel. Because he wants us to do this thing with the metal, but infuse it further with the dark stuff. Now, he didn't specifically say what he wants to see done with it, and how he wants to see like the general end product. I think he just wants to see what will happen. So, my idea is that I make a bullet, and I take that to Svela, who helps us infuse it further with darkness. And the next time we're out, I can shoot something, and we'll see what happens. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Fine by me. Don't really know what...
Or darkness
well,
just make it less effective against.
That's what
Dark.
I think too, but like he wants this and he's willing to give us a deal to do this, so like, okay.
it's more of an investment into the future.
And this way it'll only use some of the ore that they have and not all of it. Ideally.
Well, how long do you think it'll take you to get a piece of this ore?
Well, first I have to convince my bosses, then I have to convince Svela, and then we have to find something to shoot.
Well, like Doors said about a day and a half ago, we should probably go out to the black. So.
Was a while ago.
So yeah,
There.
get that done, and we can head out.
Bjorn, I'm gonna need you again.
Alright.
You do
What
the talky
exactly?
thing. I'm
Oh,
not
to
the
convince...
bosses. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. Don't like them all that much.
I will help with my technical know-how. So that's all I got for you.
Alright. I don't know if we want to do this now or do it...
Yeah, you guys want to come with?
No.
Alright, bye.
I'll join you.
That was so fucking petulant.
Do we want to do this in downtime or do we want to do it right
no,
now?
if we're gonna do it before we go out, it's got to be done now because we're not taking another week.
Okay.
You approach the smiths.
The bosses. Bosses?
Before we actually go in, let's say, alright,
She's already in greeting them, and you
Yeah.
snatch her by the collar, drag her back out.
yeah.
Bye, bosses!
So, just before we start talking to him, you know him better than I do. What do you think will... Wow. Not been here in a bit. What do you think will convince the man?
Oh,
Anything?
well,
Any ideas?
I think the best way that you're going to probably convince him is by stating that we're not going to be using the whole amount of it. At least we're going to try to not use the whole amount of it to make the pellet. And, yeah, so that way, when we do this experiment, we can see the results and go from there. I think. Meh.
He seemed quite against it, but alright, well, we can...
He did, but I
That's
think
right.
it's because they think they only have this one piece of ore, and they have not considered the possibilities of you only using parts of the ore rather than the whole ore itself. Meh.
Just turn into a goat there at the end.
Yeah.
polymorph.
Fucking. Do you have any
I'll stop.
inspiration, Kevin?
I don't know. Hard to see through the puppy. Yeah, I do.
No longer.
Wow.
Didn't see that coming. Here we are.
You're at
It's true, I
negative
didn't.
1 inspiration.
You owe him an inspiration.
Keep going. Okay. Well, we can go
I
inside.
believe in you. Bye, bosses. Again.
They actually don't seem too confused by
They're used to
your
me.
departure,
Autist.
but they'll give you a greeting and ask if you're here to work the shop today. They weren't necessarily expecting you.
Actually, I come with an idea. Are you ready to
Yeah.
brainstorm?
All right, do I dare try Irish again?
Irish is easy. It's just like fucking Scottish, but a little more fey.
A little more fey.
Yeah, quite gay. Thing goes
Oh.
up and down,
Oh, I don't like this.
up and down.
Ah,
Like a Northern Irish
always
accent.
nice to see you. What can I
Nice you too.
field for you?
Bring out the ore.
She'll produce a small, crude lockbox.
Huddle around.
And what is it you got in mind here?
What is the weight of this? I just in nerd terms is she's going to try and figure out how much ore there is to be able to make the pellet, or if there's not enough.
And you're exercising this out loud with her?
Yeah.
So, her husband, who I think's name is Mirren,
That's right.
Mirren will say, "You're not going to be able to make a small amount like that. The fire will purify it. You're going to have to make a larger batch for whatever these are going to be. So, whatever you attempt to do with it, it's going to use it all."
Freak. But if we do a larger batch, then that doesn't mean we can't still try purify some of the other ones, and then we can test it that way. Alright, so you guys remember this thing, and I'll take out my gun and put it on the table.
All right,
I
we've
think
had
this is gonna
many discussions on it.
be what we tested through. So, you know, big old merchant man. He's like, wants you to see what you can do with this thing. And you guys are on the fence of either way. If we make the pellets or bullets, and we purify half and darken half, then we'll be able to test both theories.
They consider it for a moment, and Mirren will say, "I think this is going to be a tricky forge.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely,
not
but
sure
you know
that
you
we're
want
going to be
to.
able to split this batch. And I'm not sure it's a good idea to try anything besides purifying it."
Where's your sense of adventure? Come on, we create. We test we test the very fabric of laws and physics. Come on.
The faith doesn't encourage us to venture very far from Arvel's light. And this is metal that is carrying Arvel's most foul nemesis.
Oh
Here.
God.
In our shop, in our home, and we want to turn it into a weapon, an armor, and hope that it doesn't bear any trace of the black.
I suppose that's not quite right. Think of it this way: whatever you infuse it, whatever you make it into, it'll be going back out there. It won't be staying here. Or at least that's the idea behind it. I think in this way that Ava's come up with, it allows for a very, very controlled test with minimal risk. If we're only firing off one of these, I mean, really, that's as small as the risk could get, don't you think? And then we can learn what the outcome will be, and from that make a better decision the next time across something like this.
When was the last time you two worked on a project that was really something like new and inspiring and just like what ifs?
They share a look at each other, and Lyria has this sort of knowing smile on her lips. From your experience there, you know that she teases him very frequently for being very traditional, sticking to practices of smithing that are largely endorsed by the church, and she is always the more adventurous one when it comes to crafting. And she will say, "Not entirely sold on making some of these pellets for you. With this amount of metal, and the difficulty it's going to be to keep it infused throughout the forging, I think we should make something that can deal some damage, or take some."
Evan nods along. I think this could be a super fun project for both of you. I mean, you can't be too against the fun of it. I mean, look at your wife. She loves this, and you love her. Like, you know you want to try this.
I'll sort of lean over towards Mirren. What's his name?
Mirren.
Mirren. Not Miriam. And just say, "I bet your wife would be very grateful." Wink.
Waggles eyebrows.
My wife is, of course, a talented smith, and a better one than I, most days. But she is also the only one of us that has ever set the building on fire. And he sort of returns a knowing look to her, and from your experience there, this is something they tease each other about. She is more prone to mishaps around the forge. I'm not saying that I won't allow it. I'm just not on board with anything that uses the miasma. I think we purify it, use it with whatever properties it maintains from the unusual nature it has.
Well, how about
need
this?
the miasma to touch it.
We can work on this project, and you can help me with my other project. Yeah, I'll take out the blueprint for the Dawn Shard Ray.
All right, make a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage because Bior is
Can he roll it
trying
instead?
to prostitute his man's wife to him.
Okay, guidance. Guidance myself.
Can I roll it, or does it have to be Ava?
No, this is Ava. She has been the lead.
Okay. Oh,
Plus.
So, Mirren
Using guidance,
actually likes
Plus
the idea of
Yeah.
something
Got 20.
that amplifies the light. He is much more receptive to that, and maybe it's a distraction, but he seems eager to work with you on that, and he condones that Lyria and you work on the other project. He simply tasks you with making sure that you take every available precaution.
Absolutely. Aye, Captain.
And Lyria will say, I understand you have a vested interest in something for yourself. How about the next batch? We focus on that. I'd like to stick on something that we can use more than just the one time.
Oh, absolutely. Like, if you have a better idea, that was just my first thought. I've got people who can use, like, swords, bolts, Therapior, beams of stuff.
Armor?
Well, if we're referencing what it is that you brought in, or what you took out when you got your equipment from us, how about a weapon or an armor that is familiar to you?
Sure. They use magic, so probably my brother. So he uses thing that is long. I definitely remember the name of
Definitely don't call it a glaive.
that. It's a glaive. I knew that.
And that's what you want? An armor? I ask because whatever shape this takes, it's going to need to be brought into the black to see what it can do.
I
Is it a
think
glaive?
glaive. Glaive would be best. No. No, you're right. Armor would be best. What am I thinking?
She says, I don't know one way or the other, but
I look at Bjorn.
consider what you want.
Alright, so like weapon of the thing attacking the thing wouldn't go well because you know it's gonna clash. But if they attack something that is of it, the armor, then that would be like defensive against it, right?
Good point. I'm gonna agree
Okay.
with you.
Okay. Armor. What kind of armor can we make with this?
A
I
plate
assume.
mail?
I assume, yeah, this is gonna go to Cyrus because he is our frontliner.
Mm.
So whatever armor he has,
Does anybody know what armor he has?
not off the top of my head.
The armor?
Did you say
Like,
what?
it has a chainmail, but he has heavy armor.
I
Like,
want to say...
he has a chainmail, but I think he would prefer something more if possible. Like splint or plate.
Use that split.
Yeah, we all did.
I didn't. Haha.
Give me a second.
But who knows if it's enough to make a plate armor.
Like a chess piece.
Probably enough to make a splint mail. Or splint armor. 200 gold. No.
Good. So, the essence of... when you create a magic item in this manner, it doesn't follow the same rules of crafting, which is usually you control, either through inscription or resonance, the form that it takes. When you take something raw like this that already is infused and work it into something, it sort of has a process that guides itself, and it's much harder to manipulate it. With something like this, you don't think you're going to have a ton of control over the version that it takes. It's like lining up the layers of what's going to become Damascus steel, right? You can choose the layers, but when you start pounding them together, they're going to create style and designs that aren't, something that you can plot out from the start. So you'll probably have some moments to interfere and shape its guidance. But for your next week of downtime, you'll mostly just be stuck in the forging process to make sure that it doesn't lose its magical nature as you forge it.
Is there any way that I can maybe ask Kallard to talk to Shvela about how he might be able to better retain the dark aspects while forging?
Well, he's not there.
I am not there.
No, but
I'm
this was something that I
actually talking
wanted.
with Svella right now, about Fern.
Yeah, she
This is something
specifically asks if any of your party members need anything at all.
No, they didn't. They would have told me.
Because today, right now, if you ask in the next 20 seconds, she'll give you anything that you need.
Assholes. I was going to ask about it. I even mentioned it in my general plan.
You mention it before or after so that he can meet with her, and I assume, Kallard, you'll ask.
Yeah, he'll ask. He is not asking in a way that he thinks that she's going to understand or have any influence over forging, but he'll ask for due diligence.
You get... This is something that actually Bior has a pretty good understanding of, because he's asked before. She tells you that the light is meant to preserve and culture and cultivate, and you just need to preserve and culture and cultivate these essences, both in the shard forms and as well in anything that maintains that aspect of the miasma. Bior, are you cognizant of this conversation back and forth, or is he kind of kept out of the dark?
Do I know about it? Are you guys?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He goes there every day to go chat with her and check on Fern and shit.
So Bior, your theory crafting says anything that preserves. So either encasing it in something that it's native to, like a sphere of darkness, or preserving it in more traditional ways, like you might a corpse, or something magical like gentle repose.
Now, does any of us have this? Any of us a fucking cleric?
Eric, I don't know.
Got false life.
What do I have for cantrips?
I have Spare the Dying. I don't think it's dying.
I also have Spare the Dying.
Spare the Dying is in the same vein. It's just weaker.
This is to be cast on the shards?
Yeah, more or less, this is a preservation technique for the shards because they are inherently caustic to the light, and vice versa.
Yeah, the only thing I have is false life.
Same
Just
vein,
yeah.
just not the in solution.
But what if we do all of these things?
Listen, you know a lot of discovery happens from just throwing magic
Fucking
at
around.
a forging process. You can absolutely try.
Well, if we don't have any larger spells, then I'd say, yeah, we do the little ones in, doses as we go.
Okay.
Yeah, keep them.
So,
From Spare the Dying.
you are going to need to spend some time checking in with Lyria and helping her, but it doesn't have to be every day. There are a lot of points where you can start and stop. This is a slow burn project, and it doesn't take over the priorities that the shop has, especially since the Bloodsworn have just returned, and a lot of them are in need of repairing and replacing their gear.
Stare at Bjork. Go see if they have the things. The list. Go. Well, I'm rushing around the shop to help with both projects and the shop
I'll go check with the Bloodsworn.
Every moment he's in the forge, Keller's like, "Why am I here? It's not dead. I don't know what my spell's gonna do."
Just shh. Pet his face. Shh. Just do the thing.
There's now soot all over my face.
Yeah, it's just like he's got a hand spear down one side.
So I actually love this because my artificer, Wilfred Fizzlebang, like, because he's also socially awkward, like,
Hell
he does
yeah.
a lot of, like, I try to calm him down. I touch his face, and it's always, like, needless. And, like, he's so short, so he usually has to climb up on something. Just, that's okay. Shh. Now, who's going to help me chop up this dragon?
It's perfect.
Anyways, you can arrange to make visits to assist. We'll get some checks in for your next downtime. But tonight, what are you guys doing?
Running ragged at the fucking shop unless we go and do something.
It seems to be going that route.
Well, we did.
I still thought we should maybe go check out that thing for Theodora.
Yes, that.
But you guys are obsessed with your work.
I'm happy
As
to roll
always.
this into downtime,
Ava's always obsessed with her work.
so that Brian doesn't mail us all pipe bombs.
I mean,
I mean,
I'm
my
getting
mailbox
close
is full.
to...
I know, I got enough coming from Honky, so.
Yeah.
So,
So, Theodora, what was her name? Theodora.
Theodora Rumor.
Rumor is
The
just
artist
the
and
rumor
plane
about
hopper.
Theodora. Her last name is not Rumor.
Is it?
Oh.
You sent it as Rumor.
I said Theodora
It's
Rumor,
pronounced Rumor.
as in this is the rumor
What if
about
we-
her.
What if we call her that anyways because it's an awesome last name?
Theodora Rumor,
Yeah.
she will correct you and say her last name is Oldcastle.
No! This one's better! Damn it!
Castle.
This is the most autistic conversation I've ever heard.
Ever had? I'm pretty sure we've had more autistic conversations.
I don't know, like somebody correcting somebody on their last name, like, no! This is better!
I've almost had that conversation in real life, actually.
I see a
Alright,
lot of unusual names at work. Go ahead.
Hey, Miss would be hot if she didn't talk so much. Where did you say this thing was? How far? How many days out?
Oh, not even a whole day. It's within the
What
city
do you call
limits.
it?
It's just part of the city that's been...
Elder Theodora, what did you hear?
Squint.
Part of the city that's been claimed by the dark.
Yeah.
That's good. You have, while we're out, any information about the gods that used to live here? Before
About the-
it was just
About the what that you
the
said?
gods. The gods that used to exist here before
The war.
they all fell.
I've actually been extremely curious about this myself. I have an entire section of the library that seems to be dedicated to piecing some of these mysteries together, except none of that information is here.
Mm.
My
Hey, so
suspicion...
there's gonna be like a lot of books over there. You got like a big holding.
No, I don't have a bag of holding, but we don't actually need the entire repository of knowledge. We need the ledgers. The ledgers should have a codex of their contents. They're much more manageable because they're
yeah.
intended to be inscribed via magic. And I can see
Ah.
that they're meant to be read here. The tools are in place, we just don't have them. And the ledgers are much more manageable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Without proper preservation, I doubt the original tomes are in good condition, but if they've done their archiving correctly...
Hopefully they have. Alright, that makes sense. Do they have like a particular safe or something that this would be in, or is it just at the desk, the office, on the shelf?
I don't know. If it's mirrored off of the construction here, it seems that there is sort of a public-facing section and then a private section, or a forbidden section, if you like the theatrics of it. That section seems to have some safeguards or features, but I believe this archive, the one we're in currently, wasn't completed. I think that it was only in its initial phases when access to the old one was lost. I'm not terribly certain, but some of the information is here and some of it is presumably there. I have to assume there are safeguards to protect it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you have a map? So we can like get to that area.
Let me see what I can find for you. And she doesn't seem to have a great map, like street by street level there, but she has something that's functional enough that it'll serve as a map to get you there, and has some very basic idea of the rough terrain around the city.
Sweet, thank you. Is there any other notable like that you may know of shops or something that may be along the way there? Like what's that building? What's that building? What's that building?
I am betting that the best place to find that information is the archive itself. This portion of the city just doesn't have those sorts of records. I'm sorry. It's very abrupt. I almost wonder if maybe the previous archive had become full, because there is a very abrupt starting point to the history over here, and everything that follows seems to indicate that this was like a branching off point, perhaps from some other, event, and she kind of rambles on about basically how maybe the old library got full.
That makes sense. The only thing that doesn't make sense is that they're building inward rather than outward, Because, like, this is closer to the spires, but the older libraries are further away. Usually, when towns are built, they build from, like, in to out, not out in.
The thing is, there used to be a lot more light. So, like, being that far out wasn't an issue.
I suppose, yeah.
She nods and says, I'm expecting many of the answers that we have are unfortunately only kept in the archive. The irony is not lost.
Just the books.
She smiles at that. She likes it. She appreciates the wordplay. I appreciate the wordplay.
I bet I agree. And look at the others. Anything else we need?
Luck and your brother.
Yeah, probably.
Seems as though he might not be feeling too well. Perhaps he needs more time resting.
You're gonna give birth to a frog.
Oh yeah, he could have. Well, it's not really birth. It's more like they kind of like explode out of you.
That's pleasant.
I like my way better.
Are you rather them go at the pee hole?
No. You're just continually making it worse.
You guys should know that Yami is deathly afraid of pee hole related injuries.
Yeah.
It's a shame about those tadpoles you got in you.
I mean, you have one kidney stone where they have to go up your urethra to break it apart.
Yeah, no.
That wasn't.
That's a big fucking nope.
Stone was bad. The operation wasn't. I wasn't aware.
Oh, that's right. Knocked you out.
Then I pulled out the catheter.
I still can't believe you did that. Because it wasn't just a catheter; it was the stent, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was the stent. Yeah.
From in your yurter? Jesus Christ. Ugh.
So, tell me what we're doing.
Did... You know, I'm just thinking of this now, but did we ever check door to see if he had the same thing going on as you,
I'm
Callie?
not going near that. Oh,
And wearing pants.
thank God.
I assumed he was just unconscious. Like,
Well,
I
so
figured
did I.
I was unconscious. I figured you guys would have checked.
I don't
Check
think
what?
Did Cyrus check if door was, like Callard
I-
was?
I don't know what you think we could check. Like, he's not a doctor.
I do a
I'm not a
sexually
doctor.
assaulted check.
How would you do
And we're
so?
also not therapists.
I down and note if I have any bites in my groin area.
You definitely were recovering from slash marks on your body from when you were taken by the slod.
Nothing that looks like bites, just kind of like slaps.
Like claws?
I mean,
He's got a handprint on his ass, or
Yeah, does he have... Can we see this? As he's, like, pulling his pants far from him and looking down.
it's like a
if
tramp
we-
stamp only.
If we continue the joke that he undresses frequently and refuses to dress, you've absolutely seen that he has claw marks on him, right? You would have seen that he was injured when you recovered him from the mucous membrane that was adhering him to the wall.
Okay, so thanks for the map. We gotta go to church real quick. We'll let you know when we head out. Alright, let's go. Go see Helena again.
I think perhaps we get her to check him.
Yeah.
I feel fine.
Uh-huh.
You do feel fine.
I bet you do, buddy. You and all 36 of your children.
Clear, he doesn't have any miasma oozing out of him.
No.
Okay. But might as well go get him checked.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You head to one of the temples. You go into the Pale again, where you usually go.
Yeah, sure. See Helena. She's their friend now.
When
She made the mistake of being nice to us, so now we won't leave her alone.
When you arrive, you
Typical
see
lady
that
self.
Helene is standing with another man, a man that you've also seen before,
Tell.
and he steps up to you and says, "Welcome, children
Hi.
of the unyielding flame."
I need to see if my friend is pregnant, and I put my hands on Door's shoulders and push him forward.
Yor's gonna slap his
Pregnant.
forehead.
I'm reasonably confident that he is not.
I'm not.
Let me
Don't listen to her. She's
unava this conversation for you. The creatures down the hole in the farm. From what Ava and her brother were telling me, if they attack you with their claws, they can put eggs inside the body or something akin to that. We didn't notice his claw marks when we were recovered until, just moments ago. So we want to know if there's anything you can do to see if there is an organism growing within him.
Not one. Multiple.
I check my
This
butt
could be a
again. Do I say
lot.
anything?
Stop.
Tell me, how
I'm
do you
touching your
check your
pants.
butt again? I'm just asking.
Kind of like turn my head, and if I was wearing like elastic waist pants or something like that,
He's
without a belt,
wearing
kind of like pull it
sweatpants.
out.
Common
Steve might be-
materials in this fantasy setting for sure.
probably doesn't get a good look, is my guess.
He says, I believe I understand what you're describing. I can take a look at him. And he gestures, like in a sweeping gesture, towards the tithe.
How much?
A gesture and a sweeping gesture towards Bjorn.
25 anvils.
Alright.
And then for an abortion, alright.
For the inspection.
Oh. Which is the abortion?
I suppose it depends. Is this a curse or a disease? Depending on what we have to remove.
A lot of either eggs or tadpoles. Ideally, they're not tadpoles yet, or else they would have like burst from him,
So
like
a surgery?
eat him from the inside out.
That could be more expensive.
We don't know. I don't know why she's making words that are going to complicate this again.
I suppose we'll have to deal with that when we cross that bridge. Here's the money. Please do go and examine them.
I just kind of go stand in front of him. You do this on purpose. I'm sure of it. You're not as dumb as you make yourself out to be.
You what?
Tom will step up to you, Door, and he reaches down to you and places both of his hands around your neck, and you can immediately feel a warmth flooding through you. It causes
Like he's
you
choking me?
Like he's choking you, yes. He's not choking you. He just has his hands around your neck, and you feel a warmth flood through you. It causes you to immediately break into a very heavy sweat. And as he does so, he sort of rotates his thumbs up towards your jaw and turns your head slightly in his grip and says, "It's a disease."
Snaps the snake.
We can take care of it for you. 150 anvils should cover the cost.
Oh man, we've only been here for like a week or two. Oh,
Gonna rub the bridge of my nose. Ugh. All y'all's motherfuckers.
Oh, whoa. Can't have a disease. Go to
That's true.
Bjorn. Do you have a U-leaf at all, or kind of like try to angle toward anything that you could use for spell casting?
What? What are you asking me for?
U-leaf. I kind of like make the shape in my hands.
no, you leave.
I use Druidcraft
Let
and
us
make a
leave.
U-leaf fucking grow out of my palm.
Does
Sweet.
the U-leaf have a material like cost? Because if not, then yes, you absolutely may.
I'm not looking that up. That's on you, Yummy.
Oh,
It's almost like if you just mouse over the spell, it will tell you what the components are.
but Druidcraft? I don't have Druidcraft.
Not Druidcraft, whatever you're fucking trying to do!
He said, "Does the U-leaf have a spell cost?"
Yes! Yummy! If you mouse over the spell you're trying to cast, does it say at the
No.
bottom that there's a fucking component cost, like a 10 GP or whatever the fuck?
You think this is
No,
like
no,
the
no.
first D&D ever?
There's a difference between does the U-leaf have a spell cost, or is the U-leaf a spell component?
Is the
know what I'm
U-leaf a
saying?
spell component?
Yes.
Does it
Okay.
have a cost?
No, not does it have a cost. Yummy. In the spell's description, if you mouse
Well, it's
over
a
it,
U-leaf, yeah.
does it say a U-leaf
Yes.
worth a certain amount?
Oh, no.
Okay, thank you. Just a U-leaf.
So in that
Fuck
case,
me. You don't even need the U-leaf because you have a holy symbol.
that you made him buy for you and make.
Yeah, no, you make for him.
No, I'm
don't
pretty
e-
sure. I'm pretty sure you made it for yourself, and like as you were finishing it, he just came by and took it.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Okay, thanks.
Holy fuck. Yami, if you have a fucking arcane focus, or in your case, holy symbol, you do not need components unless they have a specific gold cost, like listed in the components. I want to strangle you like that guy did, but actually...
Well, now he has a holy symbol and a U-leaf. So take that.
Hell yeah.
I
do something.
I want to make a correction to something I said earlier. This is the most autistic conversation.
Yes, I agree.
I'm glad I was there for it.
You have a U-leaf
You
in one
caused
hand.
You are it.
You have a U-leaf
You
in
are
one
him!
hand and a spell focus in the other.
Which one will light up
It's
first?
my nose like, oh.
Actually, I could just cast this as a ritual, right? Anyway,
I'm gonna kill you. Like, for real. I'm gonna
I love
visit you, I'm
this
gonna
timeline.
shit on your towel, and I'm gonna beat you with it.
I'm gonna cast my own detect disease.
I already paid him!
It's already been detected.
Unbelievable.
Do the cure, not this thing!
I'm gonna look to Father Tome and be like, how old do, like, orphans have to be when you leave them at the doorstep? Because, like, I've got one here.
Kevin, it's like when your car needs work. You don't just get the first estimate and go. You always get a couple.
It's gonna strangle himself.
Ah! That's how I feel.
No, my screen zoomed in on your icon when you said that.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you have that set.
Door. You detect that you are diseased.
Oh God.
The kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. Look, it can even penetrate 1 foot of stone. Perfect for him.
So you can still do stuff when you're in the rocks.
I know.
You believe that you have been affected by a disease left over from your abduction.
Oh God. I'm diseased. I immediately strip.
Ah! Ah! Shield my eyes.
I start
Walk
looking for
away.
anything unusual.
Hey, we're gonna leave this with you. Bye. I grab
He,
Caller's arm and leave.
when you start to try and strip down, he will kind of grasp you by the clothing to hold it onto you and says, "Perhaps this is something you would appreciate doing at your home."
No. No, we're gone. No, I'm changing the locks.
Do I see you
Where are
leaving?
walking? Yeah, I'm walking away.
Grab Caller's
Not taking
arm,
responsibility for this.
drag
Probably
Paid to
Caller
do
right.
away.
something we didn't need to do at all.
He
You
says,
have the money.
"I don't think that you're in immediate risk if you need to consult other options."
That sounds like a plan. I run away.
Without your clothes?
No, I
It's
didn't
like-
get off.
You didn't get to take them off, yeah.
I never got off.
Sounds like me.
Tragic. So
Keller
you
is
have
just standing in front of this gentleman and Aline, and just like slack-jawed, like, I am so terribly sorry about all of that.
Haleen too looks apologetic, but Tom will say, "The miasma is known to have effects on the mind. Depression, anxiety.
Oh, I am terribly
schizophrenia.
sorry. I didn't mean to be coy. He was like this before.
I'm sure it exacerbates what he came in with."
I really wish that were true.
He smiles at you and says, "Nonetheless, may you always walk in the light."
You as well.
The exasperation. It's almost like when I told somebody how to redo the roll 2 thing and then Tony asked 5 seconds later.
Yeah, but I wasn't listening when you said it.
Oh, does anybody know how to do that?
Yeah, why don't you sticky that?
Because it's like 3 fucking clicks, man!
To be fair, it's like 30 options for me and only like 2 options for you.
That is true. You have an excuse. We have literally 2 options, and only one of them is a checkbox.
You
It's ready, set, roll.
chase after your comrades, your colleagues, and you could catch up to them.
When
What are you
Caller
guys doing?
catches up, I'll say, so going forwards, if we know somebody that seems to want to help us for free, let's not talk to the guy that charges us. Oh, you weren't there, Caller. But you were, Ava.
Hi.
We could have just talked to Helene quietly.
You know what we
Maybe-
also could have done?
Aye, a lot of things, but I didn't trust
Yeah.
him to know what. Oh,
Oh god, he's running after us.
No, that's me. It was running after you.
No, he's also. Wait, where did he go? He just ran off? Not to us?
He went
What?
first.
yeah, he caught
Oh.
up to us first, I think.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't
Dor-
have any magic that can help. I have nothing.
no, but maybe Dor does. Do you have anything that can get rid of this for yourself?
Who knew you knew magic? It's crazy.
Only the necessary spells.
Uh-huh. Like?
No, I don't know how to get rid of this.
But you got rid of it with them then, right?
Sounds like you'll have to
Alright.
save up some money to do it.
Get a job or die.
Also, you owe me 75 anvils.
But that was 25.
25 for that, 50 for the.
I thought it was
Your
90
symbol.
for the symbol.
Well, now you owe me 115. Was it 90? I don't think so. I think it was 50.
It was expensive.
I understand you like your money, but I think maybe making sure that Dora here doesn't turn into a frog would be a great investment.
Hey, the issue is he could have found it out himself. And he
Oh,
didn't
a
say
frog?
anything.
That's great. We're down 25. I don't know how you think that helps. It's money. It's just money.
To pay for our food.
I need a lot of money for things.
Also that.
So, Dora, how much money you got? You've been working, right?
I look
Dor?
over at Bjork.
Yeah,
just pull
Dor?
out
What are you
Bjor's
looking at me
wallet.
for?
Yeah, can I do that?
No!
Sleight of hand.
Tempting.
What type of cleric are you, Yami?
Where do I find that?
Disgrace.
What did you pick? Yeah, disgrace sounds about right.
Yeah,
it
what
should be
kind
in
of cleric
features.
did you pick?
Features in classes, it'll say like cleric and then whatever.
He didn't bother
you
with
pick.
a subclass.
He fucking didn't, I bet.
And lineage.
God, I hope
No,
that's
it's
the
in
case.
features.
Oh,
Yeah.
Peace domain. Wait, don't I just know extra spells because of this?
Yes?
Go ahead and
What are
tell them that you know how to remove disease.
I know
That's
he. Okay, maybe not. How do you. What is remove disease?
I think it's next level. I think
don't
that's
even-
what it is.
I don't even see it on the cleric list.
I think it's greater restoration.
Restoration, that would explain.
God, I know so many spells. This is terrible. Peace domain does not give anything like that, I don't think.
Undo a debilitating effect. So yeah. No, okay, it's lesser restoration. Yami, you can fucking do it.
No, he can't.
Not today,
No, he can't because he doesn't change spells.
It's true.
but you
Oh, it's
can.
just less restoration?
Yep, it's just lesser restoration.
No, lesser restoration didn't say
fucking-
disease.
It does.
It does not say disease. Blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poison.
You touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition
Oh,
can be
that's the
blinded.
legacy version. That's the difference.
I'm looking at the 2014 one.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Hey, I thought we're not doing the 2014 versions.
We're
No, we are
exclusively
doing the 2014. We're
2014.
not
Oh,
doing
wait.
the 2024.
Yeah, that's not 2024.
What?
What?
We are doing 2014, not 2024.
I
Except
just,
when we
uh,
make mistakes for the first
Wrong
time.
on a decade, yeah.
Yeah. You're
Alright,
wrong on a
Emma
decade.
will rummage through her bag, take out a very frightening looking injector, and just stab it into his neck and inject him with some weird shit.
Out of game,
Does it hurt?
Did it stab into my butt like
Yes.
I'm a pig?
No, I said neck!
Yummy.
Like, what's
Don't look at the
Not
fucking
going
builds
near
I send you. You don't listen to women when they speak. Like Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, the second one's understandable.
Yeah, I mean I get it, but
I asked. I didn't say I didn't listen.
said it 3 seconds ago.
So you
Oh.
get stabbed with a very painful concoction that you can feel sort of going through your body. And afterwards, you feel kind of exactly the same way you felt before.
I'm gonna play it up by going "Ugh," on the ground for like a few minutes.
I'm walking.
I'm also walking.
Yeah, I didn't stop.
Flailing on the ground and we just walk away.
Like when your kid starts having a tantrum at the fucking market and you just walk away and then it gets up and like, runs in front of you, lays down again.
My cat does that, actually. So, what are we doing?
I guess the question goes, do we want to wait to go into the dark until we have Hunter?
I mean, it's the wise decision, but is it the fun one?
Honestly, you should have cast Restoration on him in real life.
Yeah, why
Sure,
didn't you
she'll
do that?
get right on that.
Bailey?
Yeah, my
No, I only
bad.
pick the important
What the
spells
fuck?
in real life.
Yeah,
It-
she's not allowed to change them either.
Honestly, he's American, so he can't afford her rates.
Yeah,
That's true.
and I chose the race Canadian, so I actually get free healthcare.
Well, you just don't have to pay for it.
Mhm.
Just like me.
Same, yeah. But yeah, do we want to wait for Hunter to, like, we could just be like, we're preparing to go into the dark to do Theodora's thing. We've got the map and all that.
I mean, he could tag a... I don't know. Because, I mean, we don't know if he's coming back.
I mean, if you struggled in combat last week,
It's
Only gonna
okay.
get
You'll be
worse.
there to soak the damage this time.
Yeah, you're gonna be up front, buddy.
am I
So-
soaking the tip?
You guys can choose. If you want to end the session early, we can. Otherwise, I would say typically the reason we went with a 5-person party is so that if somebody didn't show up, we could continue. But I have people to make these decisions for me, and they're shaped like Kevin.
That's a
He is our
unfortunate shape to be
frontliner.
in.
That's the big thing.
I think... I don't know. I mean, I can do it too. Go in front. Before we go, I'm going to get some splint mail. Assuming I can buy that from the Smiths and they don't hate me.
Yeah, you can buy from the Smiths. You know.
And can I talk them into a previous employee discount?
No, you left us for that other asshole.
What?
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
also
leave
You get charged
promised
extra.
them. You also promised them like great dwarven secrets of the forge.
Yeah, but they already knew him. I can't help that.
So they might have, some impressions about that leaves them to not necessarily think a employee discount is necessary.
And what sort of discount would they give? Ava. They like her.
They would probably let Ava make her own.
Eat.
Okay, so 200 gold. I just want to make sure we live, or I live.
I slowly slide into the frame.
And take his split mail and run.
I'll fucking strangle you.
Yeah, well, make sure
But,
you
like,
get
in
your
real
wallet
life.
back from from Door first.
Oh my god, that money is getting hidden every time.
All right, you can spend the coin, purchase yourself a set of splint mail.
I mean, we do have a bunch of money, so if anybody else wants to buy things, that's an option too.
Says the man that just spent a third of the money of a fifth of the people.
Yeah,
Most
I'm
of
waiting
it-
for the others. so I can get you these things.
Brian, with the
what-
fucking facts. Just Snopes the shit out of you.
What do you need, Brian?
Nothing.
Okay.
What would it take to make a big crossbow?
You have a big crossbow.
Normal crossbow.
There's 2 types of crossbow, light and heavy. And I don't think you can use light, can you?
You can also build an oversized crossbow. You won't be able to use it effectively unless you find some way to remedy the cumbersome nature of an oversized crossbow.
Wait, what have I been using that?
Probably a heavy crossbow.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. If
Had
it's
one,
1d10,
then we
it's
went-
a heavy crossbow.
When we went into the black shit, I lost it. Then I got
Yeah.
a worse version.
No, you just got a crossbow. Like you got the heavy crossbow. We got a basic one. Like we all got basic stuff. You didn't have a magic one before.
Yeah, it probably didn't have a scope on it.
I mean, the one I'm using is 1d8. One I had was 1d10.
So you got a light crossbow.
Get him a heavy crossbow.
Good. Also, to be fair, I only spent 120 of the group gold. Well, actually, 116. Do you
How do I
want
make
that,
the little?
Yami?
I would love it. How do you make the little swirly icon and detect poison and disease go away?
Turn off concentration. I think it's in effects. You just
Go into
click on the
effects,
head.
click it, and then you can do end.
Oh.
So, what are you guys doing?
We're waiting on someone to decide whether or not we're going to the black or not.
Yeah, let's. I don't know. Do you guys want to wait? Like, what is your preference? I'm not trying to strong arm people.
Either or. I am a woman. My opinion does not matter here.
You also got a little German there at the end.
I am a little German. What are you talking about?
Guess it's
Yeah.
more appropriate. Get it literally and figuratively. Bazinga.
Welcome to the punchline.
I liked the joke before you explained it.
Okay. I'll eat shit.
I think Bazinga bothers me, like, even when it's said ironically.
Yeah, I hate it. That's why I
That
said
shows so much.
it's awful. So Yami's getting a crossbow. Removing 50 gold.
You get a crossbow. Everybody is happy.
Well, let's not jump the gun there.
I said what I said.
Oh, 'cause one
Now,
person.
I will say that I did use a second level spell on him.
But
We're not
you gotta
taking
slot-
another week.
So you want to charge him 150 gold? That's funny.
If I knew I could get it, yeah.
You
Better
can.
get
Just get Bjor swallowed.
Yeah, just
Give
gotta
me
go
water.
to his bookie.
Better get a fucking job.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
would we have rested after this week?
Yes.
Yes.
We had a long rest. Sorry, you weren't
Okay,
here.
so it's almost
last time
dead.
when we applied it. Yep. So are we taking another week? I think not, right?
I'm about to lose my shit.
Yeah. I feel it.
Me too. Brian, do you want to go in the dark right now, or do you want to wait for Hunter?
I'm about to
Ryan
pull
the
my
Blade.
teeth out. So I'm thinking maybe we call it here and start again without the autism next week.
Okay, so let's
Possible.
go into the dark. Let's just do it.
I was gonna
we'll
vote
get moving.
no.
No? Okay, then let's not do it. We have
Oh, I
Bailey
feel like
not wanting to.
feel bad for him.
Make a choice.
Want him to have fun.
That's fair, but we also chose to like generally go ahead with the session if we're only missing one person. But we're missing a frontliner. Okay, we can call it if you guys want to. I'm not gonna go against the.
I just
group.
need
It's
one of
up to you guys.
to listen. I want you to know that I am sort of an indecisive person when I'm making purchases and things like that. Like, I'll analyze
Me too.
my build in a video game 30,000 times. Oh, would I be having more fun if I switched to a fire build? So I get it, but I do need one of you.
I said it and immediately got turned down. So, like, I don't know what to tell you.
Take control of this situation,
I will
because
see
I
you
have
guys next
chosen
week. This is great.
not to.
Ryan, I misinterpreted what you said. Is you like no because I want to be done with the autism. So I was like, okay, instead of autism, let's just get going. But it was an actual no.
The autism would follow us into the black.
I misunderstood.
The
My
black
character's,
is the autism.
Personality is autism, so it's gonna be here next time.
You almost have an excuse. It's strangely enough, your jokey autism is not the problem we're having tonight.
That's fair. That was last time.
That was last
Right.
time and the time before that.
Brian, I apologize if you did not have fun tonight because of all
No,
of
I
this
did.
shit.
I was laughing my ass off all night. Like, I had a good time. All right?
Okay.
I like hanging out with
Good.
friends. This is good times.
Okay.
I'll let you know if any friends show up after tonight.
Did not mean to actually shut you down there like a.
No, I was laughing at that too because it was like immediate and hilarious.
I definitely misinterpreted that.
All right. Well, you guys head into the black with a full roster of compatriots intent on finding the secrets of the archive, retrieving the ledgers and learning what you can from within. We will continue this next week. And it'll be a cold open. We'll just start. That'll be nice.
I love that.
So, if you need to finish up your downtime, my suggestion, I'm just a guy, get it in soon, because once the weekend hits, my motivation to do anything with this campaign drops. So you probably want to do it today, tomorrow, the next day.
Speaking of, how'd your date go?
From like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So this is 3 weeks ago? So this is funny.
It sounds like he hasn't had another.
It didn't go. Right?
Ew.
Oh,
And I've never like been ghosted like in a like this. Like I've had like where like you're talking to a girl and like you're kind of forcing it on one side or the other, and like the conversation just kind of ebbs off. Right? But like just a full blown like we're getting along, we're laughing, we're joking, like my jokes are landing and all that, and then they just disappear. I've never had that. And it was kind of humbling because she's not an unattractive girl by any means. To me, attractiveness is like not the biggest deal in a relationship. I want somebody that I get along with and I can share hobbies with and like that I enjoy being around, right? So I guess I got a little smug is the point, because again, she wasn't unattractive, but like between the two of us, I was the prettier person. And I
you
took
were
that
below
for
your weight
granted.
class. Get it?
I sort of looked at this like, maybe this is wrong of me to say, but like I sort of looked at it like this is kind of a shoo-in, right? Like I'm the pretty one, right? She's the charming one, right? Like of course, like this is gonna go well. Like I've knocked a part of the equation out, right? And then she just ghosted me, and I got a little bitter because I was like, I guess this makes me sound like a shitty person, but I guess I felt like it was such a shoo-in because, like, well, you're the unattractive one. I'm doing you the favor. Which isn't how I really feel, but, like, being ghosted kind of hurt my feelings, and I got a little bitter.
But you also tend to have, like, you have a confidence about you, so I imagine you do well normally. So, like, this being your first ghost, like, That one hits. That one hits different, man.
I have had that happen twice, where like the conversation was great. She seemed really excited about going on a date, and then just nothing. I'm half convinced they were bots because it just doesn't make sense.
I don't know,
But it also could just be like something better came along in her eyes or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that very may well be. She might have been talking to 15 guys at the same time, and like I was the second result, right? But like, I don't know. The past several years, it's like it's been easy to get dates and harder to like want to be involved with them, or to even get involved if I do want to be involved. So it's like date 1 has been a lot easier than date 2 or anything that happens after that. And like this is the opposite of the problem I had when I was in my late 20s. So I don't know, maybe when I'm in my 40s it'll switch back around.
Well, you're just getting older, Tony, and the older you get, the more single mothers there are.
That the older you get, the less opportunities you have to find a meaningful relationship before you die, and then you just live alone.
That's true. Yep.
Thanks.
Listen,
No, but it is
wasn't,
ass. I agree.
It wasn't a shot at
It
you.
is
It's a shot at me and Yami.
I can't even get people to go to lunch. We plan a lunch once a year, and they canceled it.
To be fair, we
Day
planned a
before.
D&D session last week, and you canceled it. To go to a
blame you,
midnight
mate.
release for a Switch that you weren't even getting.
Like, why do you even give Barb your time? She's so shitty to you.
I don't think she's shitty. She's just...
She
Should've been-
blackmailed him into fucking looking after her for a full week. Yami, you were so bored. You were complaining about it every day.
I was pretty bored.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
She, like, extorted him. She told everybody at work that he was going to do it before ever asking him about it.
Yep.
Okay, that's shitty. But you
Yeah,
did a
it's
nice thing, so you
remarkably
should feel
shitty.
good about that.
I do.
It is not nice to enable manipulative people. It is mean. Because they'll manipulate somebody else, and that is your fault. You gave them confidence. Oh.
Yeah, they
but
canceled
yeah.
my lunch. I was very
Online
mad.
dating only gets worse, Tony. The longer it goes on. It was bad before, and it's worse now. Or I say now, worse the last time I did it.
I don't know. I feel like the market is worse, and like the only thing that's changed is me. So
And
it's
more
a humbling experience this time around.
No, there's more bots and shit too, and it's just I don't know.
Well, that and like just the social climate has changed dramatically recently. So, just people's worldviews are in whack right now.
Yeah, and if you don't share their worldview, then you're worse than Hitler.
Pretty much, yeah.
I know. I see a lot of profiles that are like, if you didn't vote for X, then swipe right or swipe left. And I'm like, I didn't vote for anybody. Swipe right.
If you're conservative, just swipe left. It's like, what do my fucking political views have to do with this?
Just don't have any feelings for people like that, and life's a lot more peaceful.
Oh yeah, I don't give. I just swipe left on them regardless. But like,
No, I mean, no romantic feelings.
oh yeah, no, of course not. People like that, you can't like. If you're gonna judge somebody solely on their political views, I think that's a very narrow set of issues to,
I mean,
to judge somebody on.
No, because if you're looking for a
Depends.
long-term relationship, you need like there's some very fundamentals you need to agree on.
Yeah,
Sure, but like,
I absolutely agree.
I think if you just look at, I'm saying if you just look at political leaning or how someone identifies politically, that's very narrow in terms of their overall values.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I don't think it does a good job.
I feel like
representing-
anybody even putting that on their profile is probably on the extreme of one side or the other. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
See, that I think is also probably true because, like, from where I sit, I could date somebody that's one arm's reach on the left or the right, and I could be plenty happy, right? As long as, like, we could have, like, adult conversations about it. Because I like the banter, and I like the arguing, and I like playing devil's advocate and all that shit. But if there are 2 or 3 arms reaches on either side, if they're passionate about it, we might not be able to deal with it. You know, like, one of my best relationships, like, the girl was extremely liberal, and, like, in general, like, everything you're saying is fine until you hit that moment where you're like, well, actually, like, that's not the case. That's not what happened in insert random event. And they just completely shut down and don't hear you out anymore. And it's like, I'm not even disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that you don't have the facts right.
Yeah, that's the problem. Most people are not adults in that. Like they have a
You should
fucking
definitely only be dating
meltdown.
adults. I don't know why anybody should have to.
I don't know. I have
No,
to
I mean,
explain this to you, Kevin.
When it comes to politics, people cannot have an adult conversation about it most of the time. Most of them get like really heated really quickly, and they're not willing to, try
Yeah,
to see
no.
the other side or anything like that.
And that's what you
Drives me
kind
up the wall.
That's kind of what like Yami I think was getting into, is like the people that put that on their profile, they are on the most passionate side of things, and
Yeah.
you probably need to be in sync with that if you're going to make that work.
Yeah, those people are miserable. Dated one once, and it was holy fuck, no more SJWs. She was like, "Oh yeah, no, I can agree to disagree." She could not.
I told you about the girl that I was dating like 6-7 months ago, and like she had a really bad breakup with her boyfriend, and like he was like completely apologetic and like just kind of like a kick dog, like, yeah, I'm really sorry, I really did some things I shouldn't have done, I should have been a better person, I have no excuses. And she's just laying into him like just abusing his
Fuck.
soul. And I'm reading through the chat logs, and like I have to support her and be like, yeah, right, stand up for yourself. But I'm reading it, I'm like, this dude is just like, he's not in the wrong. He's just getting dumpstered. Like,
That's the thing. I don't think you have to support her in that. Like, I think it's okay. Like, it's one thing if you're like publicly trying to shame her for it, but like if you just say, "Hey, you're being unreasonable here," like he's apologizing.
I
Like, I don't think that's unreasonable.
No, she was so passionate about it. Like, there's no way to be like, hey, like, he's trying to not be a shithead. He's acknowledging his past mistakes. Like, you should give him another chance. I think that would have just made me his ally and gotten me in trouble.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, she'd probably be upset about it, but like, I think that's okay personally. Like, I think you can point out when somebody's being a drooling retard, and they might be upset about it in the moment, but over time they maybe come to see that, oh wait, I was being retarded, and thank you for not just blindly yes-manning me.
I'm not saying that can't ever happen. I don't think that happens with her very often.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
she might have been nuts. Who knows? Bitches be crazy, am I right?
Yep.
Yeah, I
And-
actually am, unfortunately.
That's where we'll end things.